All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We got one more exhibition game to go. One more preseason game tonight at 7, and then it'll be over. It'll be on to actually meaningful games. The Seahawks host the Chargers to close out the preseason, looking for their first preseason win, and it seems like this might be the game that we utilize to really prep for the regular season. It seems at least possible that a good chunk of starters and meaningful players will hit the field tonight against the Chargers. So let's try to figure out who exactly is going to play. So, no Dwayne Brown, because as of the latest information that I'm aware of, we haven't resolved his contract situation. And we also know no Quandre Diggs because ditto. So, if you take a look at the injury report, you can get an idea of some players who we're probably not going to have. Trey Brown, I have to believe he's going to miss the game, which is really unfortunate for him because he can use the reps. Colby Parkinson, of course, I don't think that he's going to be ready for this game. Probably not ready for week 1, but might be ready for week 2, week 3, based off what I'm hearing. No Ryan Neal. Possibly some Tyler Lockett, but I don't know why this team would risk it. We know what Lockett can do. He's been around for a while. Phil Haynes, I'd like to see him get some reps, but I don't know what his injury severity is right now, so I would have to guess we probably don't get him. Damian Lewis also had an oblique injury, same as Ryan Neal, actually. So I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's probably going to play a little bit, but it's obviously not a huge deal. Although he is a young player, he doesn't have a ton of experience. It can't be bad. Tommy Champion has a groin injury, but I expect him to play. I believe he played last week, and I don't think anything changed since then. Demarius Randall showed up on the injury report, but I think he'll play. This is kind of a big deal for him, whether or not he makes the team. And Robert Kemdichi, I don't expect to see because he didn't practice this week, to my knowledge. So some players that you would really like to see out there tonight are not going to be out there, I don't think. I don't think you're going to see Kemdichi, which I really wanted to see Kemdichi. I wanted to see Haynes. I wanted to see Trey Brown. But that would be my assessment of where we are right now. As for who is going to be out there and what is interesting to watch for tonight, I have a few interesting things that I'm going to keep an eye on. For one, I don't think Wilson will play because Dwayne Brown's not going to play. And if Dwayne Brown's not going to play, you're asking for trouble. And maybe it's workable if the rest of the starting offensive line plays, but it's not like Wilson needs the preseason. He didn't have a preseason last year, and he had his best start ever. So you are going to see Geno Smith play a lot, and you're going to see Sean Mannion play a lot. And I'm pretty sure that Geno Smith has a significant lead in the battle for backup QB. But Mannion has a chance because Geno Smith didn't exactly play well before he got hurt against I think it was the Raiders. So there's an opportunity for Mannion. I'm going to be watching tonight to see if he can do something to try to seize the job from Geno, maybe outplay him. There's also some interesting stuff happening in it. Running back, Rashad Penny, I think his roster spot could be on the line if he does not show something. It's possible we're not going to take this preseason that seriously because we don't have some of the starting offensive linemen, but if we are taking this preseason seriously, then Penny needs to do something fast or he could find himself in a trade or just plain cut. And you also have the Travis Homer battle, his fight to get back on the 53-man roster, which I think he's got a decent chance at it, but he's got to battle out against probably Alex Collins and, like I said, Penny, because I think DJ Dallas is going to make it because he's providing special teams value on top of his running back value. So, interesting running back battle here. It seems like these four guys, Homer, Dallas, Collins, Penny, are fighting for 3 spots. So, what we see on the field tonight could inform that. We might see Dwayne Eskridge, which is very exciting. Really hoping we can see him. Even if he doesn't catch a pass, I just want to see him do the things that a receiver does. Same for Penny Hart. It's a little different. Penny Hart's been around for a couple years, but I do want to see what he can do because he hasn't played in the preseason yet, and there's been some hype around him. As always, interested in Kay Johnson and Aaron Fuller because I kind of like those guys and feel like they have an NFL future. Definitely going to continue to watch Stone Forsythe with great interest. The center battle is going to be very interesting tonight. Fuller supposedly has the starting job right now, but Posick, I'm not ruling him snatching it back before the regular season starts. And even if he doesn't, he can position himself well to snatch it back with a good game tonight after a couple of weeks. So the center battle is interesting to watch. I also want to see Ugbuehi play a little bit because we haven't seen that this preseason. So there's some interesting stuff going on this offensive line. Of course, the guys like Jake Curhan and Jared Hawker, Greg Island, those guys are interesting because they are the young guys that we chose to pull in who may have a future. And that's about it for the offense. Defensively, some of the air is out of the balloon, I have to admit, because no Kemdichi and probably no Trey Brown either. I would say I want to see some signs of life from LJ Collier. I don't know how many opportunities he's going to get, but he should get some. I'd like to see him make at least one play. Definitely going to keep an eye on Lakeem Williams, John Radigan, and Aaron Donkor. One of those three guys is likely to get a roster spot. One of those three guys likely gets on. The other two probably get the practice squad. But as of right now, I have Lakeem Williams, but don't rule out Radigan. Donkor you can probably rule out because he gets the free practice squad spot, so you want to preserve that. But there's still a battle going on here. Definitely interested to see that. And I'm also going to throw John Reed in there because this is a guy we traded for, but he has an uphill battle to actually make the roster. And in order for him to grab a roster spot, you're probably looking at him needing to do something to vault himself ahead of Demarius Randall. So Randall could easily end up being a cut, and Reed could end up benefiting from that. So if he leaves an impression, look for him to maybe beat out Randall for one of the last roster spots on the team. You're going to see some Blair playing safety because Diggs is not playing and Adams may not be as well. You're going to see some Amadi at safety. There's obviously no Ryan Neal. You're also going to see some Crosswell, which I'm very interested to see because he's somebody who I think has made a big enough impression to earn at least a practice squad spot. And in the right scenario, if this Quandre Diggs thing just drags on, you may see Crosswell get involved in the actual games sooner than you expected. So there's quite a bit of stuff that's going to be interesting to watch in this preseason game. Frankly, a lot of these guys who I have listed over here in red, I don't think they have much of a chance of making the active roster at all. Hewitt and Reed would be the two guys who I think could make it off of this list. And by the way, when I say make the squad, I'm including the practice squad in there as well. So those are two guys over here that I think are interesting to watch, but there's a lot of interesting stuff happening at every level of this team on the practice squad and with some of the bottom end roster spots. Now, I do want to see some of our studs do something, but I don't know how many of them are going to play. Like, if Wilson doesn't play, is there much of a point of seeing Metcalf or Lockett or Carson or even somebody like Gabe Jackson? Is there much of a point of seeing anything more than a few plays from Dunlap or Ford or Wagner or Adams? At this point, you wouldn't think very much, but we'll see how Carroll chooses to play this. I'm definitely interested to see how he plays this, but in terms of individual things that I'm watching, those are my top priorities. So let me know what you're watching for tonight. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. See you guys after the game. Tomorrow morning, we'll do a post-game video, and we'll do a post-game stream. See you guys then.